It's time for Inside the Jets, presented by EY, building a better working world. Now, here's Bart Scott and Dan Graca.
And welcome into another edition of Inside the Jets, presented by EY, building a better working world. Happy holidays, everybody. Dan Graca alongside my man Bart Scott. Bart, Santa dropped a couple of gifts underneath the tree for the Jets in the form of 2 straight wins. How we doing?
I'll tell you what, Victory Mondays. I think that can become a habit. I think it's great for these guys to show that they still all in. You know, they could have easily just folded. I understand that Cleveland was under tough situations, but, you know, the Jets took advantage of them. And you can say whatever you want to say about the fact that they didn't have receivers. They had a very capable, arguably the 2 best running backs in the game. They were able to shut them down. They were able to make sure that they didn't turn the ball over on the offensive side of the ball. It was a complete game. It was a team win. And I think, you know, what we've been waiting for was some guys to take advantage of their opportunities and flash. I think Basham flash. I think Nathan Shepard continues to flash. And you look at, you know, no Quentin Williams. They were still able to be disruptive and get to the quarterback.
You're absolutely right about that, right? And if guys are out of the lineup, others have to step up. I mean, you played the game. You know the old saying, right? It's next man up. And, yeah. Cleveland was shorthanded, but it didn't stop the Jets' offense from doing their thing, at least for much of this game, against that Cleveland defense. They put up 23 points there and walk out of there a 7-point winner. But, you know, I'm glad you hit on the head a couple of guys on that defense, you know, with Basham and Nathan Shepard, who had another strong game. Foley Fatukasi back in the lineup after missing the victory out in L.A. And a guy like John Franklin Myers. Throw the record out the window. And it's the old cliche that the tape doesn't lie. And the best job interview that you're going to have is what you put on that tape. So each and every one of these guys, not just the ones we mentioned, but everybody in that uniform, they're making a case to be Jets again next year. And if there's no room for them with this team, then there's 31 other opportunities out there to find a home for 2021. And it's a testament to those guys that go out there and act like professionals.
I mean, I believe that Basham and Luvo is really, you know, giving themselves the opportunity to say, okay, well, I can be the other guy, right? So, like, if Quentin Williams is over here and you guys are going to go out and get a pass rusher, I can be the other guy, right? I can be the other guy. I may not be the 10 to 15 sack guy, but I can be the guy that's going to raise havoc on the opposite side. You know, and I think that, you know, being able to build the back end of the roster, being able to build tremendous depth, I just like the way that those guys have been playing. They play with tremendous effort. They play like they care. And, you know, they're relentless to the ball. That we used to say playing with your hair on fire. These guys have been playing that way. I mean, you know, that's great for a guy like Basham to be able to come out and be responsible for 2 turnovers. You know, he basically won the game, getting the ball out and being able to secure victory. And that's what you want. You want guys to be able to step up in situational football. And he didn't kind of slow up. He saw that, you know, he was unblocked. He saw Baker had got held up. Tremendous job by the offensive line. The defensive line to stack that offensive line up so that he can come off and make Baker have to hold the ball and duck his head. He didn't see him coming, and still to have the wherewithal to knock it out. I mean, I think that was huge.
Let's get more on yesterday's game now with senior reporter Eric Allen and former Jets tight end Anthony Becht. Guys?
Thanks, fellas. Last week, Anthony, the Jets were a 17-point underdog to the Rams. They go out to Los Angeles and take care of business against a playoff team. This week, they take care of business once again against a Cleveland Browns team who had 10 victories on the year coming to MetLife Stadium. The final 23-16, another great complimentary game from the green and white.
Yeah, you know, it was really a great effort by the defense of the Jets in this football game. I mean, they had to make some crucial stops at the end of the game. They're able to force fumbles in this game and really, you know, put pressure on Baker Mayfield, 4 sacks in the game. And offensively, the first half was enough. I mean, you came out strong. You're able to take the lead at half, but you're able to put points on the board, feel good, and your defense made some nice plays on the back end. So, you know, huge wins for the Jets. You know, I think in the larger landscape, being that the Jags lost as well, really doesn't matter where they fall now. It's just about can they just continue to play well week in and week out the remaining of the season. And they've done that today with their second straight win.
Well, what did you think about Jamison Crowder? He was doing everything out there, dropping dimes, playing quarterback. Then he had a touchdown catch off a wheel route there in the second half. Jamison Crowder was just tremendous today.
He was. You know, I loved your tweet talking about, you know, all he needed was a run in for a touchdown. He would have had the football cycle. It was good to see. I mean, I kind of liked what they were doing offensively. Very creative. To be quite honest with you, I mean, I thought that they really kept the Browns defense on their heels. And to be quite frankly, they basically took over the game in the first half. No answers for the Browns against the Jets offense. You know, Sam had a nice first half as well.
The Browns definitely hurt by not having a number of their top wide receivers, including Jarvis Landry. But what can you say about the defense's effort overall?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I want to thank Kevin Stefanski for his game plan today. Let's be honest. They're down 4 receivers, and they come out running, not running the football. They passed pretty heavy. I think 36 plays in the first half, only 9 rushes in the first. That was a favor that he did for the Jets defense, and the Jets took advantage of it. So, shout out to Stefanski for his early game for his game plan. Good team effort on that side of the football.
Coming up next, we'll be joined by Jets quarterback Sam Darnold right here on Inside the Jets, presented by EY, building a better working world. And welcome back to Inside the Jets, presented by EY, building a better working world. Dan Graca alongside Bart Scott. It's time now for our player guest segment, brought to you by EY, building a better working world. And we're pleased to be joined today by the quarterback of the New York Jets. He's number 14, Sam Darnold. Sam, thanks for joining us, my friend. How are you?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. I'm good. Coming off a win always feels nice.
Were you guys able to get victory Mondays? Did you guys get Monday off, or just go ahead and take care of some stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just taking care of some little injuries that I got, little, bruises, stuff like that. But, we're supposed to stay out of the building anyways on Mondays. So,
absolutely.
I get in, get out, and then, we had Monday off though.
Now, I've been a part of a couple of disappointing seasons. And the first thing I wanted to do when the season was over with was to get back to the lab, because it's hard to improve on things when you're in the season. But when you're off, you can kind of take a step back and see all the things that you need to improve on. You see the game better. You're able to take a step back, and it's not like moving at the speed of light. How excited are you to kind of get back to the lab and kind of analyze what went right and what went wrong and how you take the next step in your progression?
Yeah, right during the middle of that time when we were struggling, the middle of this year, I texted, my quarterback coach and then my trainer who I train with, just everything that I want to work on, how I want to get better. And I want to get back as soon as possible. Obviously give my body probably a couple weeks, but I want to get right back at it. I mean, obviously this year didn't go the way that we wanted it to. But like you said, I mean, that's the only way to cure it is go right back to the lab and get to work.
Is it as easy or as simple as your mechanics and being consistent and trying to, you're like one of those things, 10,000 hours for something to become second nature. Sometimes when you're trying to work on things during the season, you tweak things wrong. And it's like, man, I just couldn't figure it out. Is it really going back to the fundamentals and the foundation of how you release the football?
No, it's not so much that. I think for me, it's just, putting it all together. I think, mentally going back and watching the tape and understanding, okay, this is how I can be better. I think, the last couple of weeks while we've been winning, I haven't been turning the ball over. And sometimes it's as simple as that. But as you know, Bart, the game isn't that simple. So I think for me, it's just going back, understanding what I did wrong when we were losing. And I think it is, it's for me, it's really just taking care of the football. It's making sure that I'm doing all the right things. If something's not there, to throw it away, or if I feel like there's guys around me, I can't necessarily use my feet to get out of the pocket, just throw it at someone's feet or dirt it, or throw it away. So, those are the little things that I've been learning from this year and my 3 years here as a Jet. So I'm going to continue to learn. And then in the weight room, I want to get stronger. Having the shoulder injury really kind of derailed my strength there. Because during the season, like you said, you can't necessarily keep up with that strength as much as you'd like to. So that's one thing for sure. I just want to get a little bit stronger in my upper body and, continue to work on the pliability there as well. So there's always that fine line of getting, stronger, but also making sure that, I'm staying pliable and everything's working correctly. So yeah, it's not so much mechanics. It's more of just going back and, watching the tape of myself and getting stronger.
2 straight wins here for you guys, and you're closing the season with a little bit of momentum here, some positivity. I'm sure that there's fans out there who see the way the team is playing now, Sam, and they say, well, where was this earlier in the season? What if they had played this way earlier in the year? Maybe we'd be talking about a different outcome of the season. Do you guys as players in the locker room, do you ask yourself this question? Like, boy, this is what we're capable of doing. Where was this earlier in the year?
Yeah. I mean, it sucks, that it's coming at this time, but, it is what it is, man. It's, you look back and, you try to just learn from your mistakes as much as possible and grow from it. And I feel like we've done that as a team. Obviously it came too late, but I feel like this team is super resilient and we've done a great job of learning from everything this year. And, like I said in the beginning, it's not the year that we envisioned for ourselves, but, we've all learned, we've all, grown as people. And we are a super close group. And I think that's showing, these last few weeks.
And welcome back to Inside the Jets, presented by EY, building a better working world. Time now to hear from the voices of the New York Jets. Here's Bob Wischusen and Marty Lyons. Guys?
All right, thanks very much. Well, Marty, against all odds for a Jets team that started off the season 0-13, they've got back-to-back wins on the ledger as they came out, again, for the second consecutive week, and maybe more than anything else, they controlled the line of scrimmage against a Cleveland team that you knew, without their wide receivers, wanted to come in and run the football, and the Jets just didn't allow it up front.
Yeah, you know what, Bob? I think they played complementary football also. Anytime that the Jets defense put pressure on Baker Mayfield and created turnovers, the Jets had great field position. They took advantage of it and put points up on the board. I think, you know what, you look at it, it was a great team victory, even though, a couple times on the special teams, they had a blocked field goal or missed extra point. That could have come back to haunt them. But you know what? It tells you something about this organization, about this team, that there's, there's still fight left in them. And I think it starts with Sam Darnold. He had an opportunity in the first half to slide, and instead he ran right over, Malcolm Smith, a linebacker.
Yeah, defensively, no question. I mean, they pretty much controlled the game. A couple of touchdown drives for the Browns when they got into a rhythm in the second half, but takeaways were a big part of game. Offensively, it was a mixed bag. They left some points on the field, as you said, some special teams points. Also, 3 or 4 drives with really good field position that either resulted in field goal attempts or a field goal or nothing at all. But all in all, you'd have to say that they managed the game on offense well, because they never made that big killer mistake to cost their defense the way the Browns did on the other side.
Right. And how about the afternoon of Jameson Crowder? He throws for a touchdown. He has a receiving touchdown. They handed him off the ball. He ran. You know what? The play selection was outstanding, and I think the execution was even better.
Well, now you look forward to a game against the Patriots next week. If the Jets can actually end the season with 3 consecutive wins, they're not locked into the second pick in the draft. So this is not something where you have to have some kind of a big Trevor Lawrence debate or worry about the first pick in the draft. Now, I would think maybe mentally there's got to be something towards going into New England next week and knowing that there's no reason for any of their fans to hope for anything but a win.
No, and I think for the players too, Bob, this is about pride, personal pride. Go and win up there in New England. You win 3 in a row. You look back, whatever happens in 2021, you know what, that's out of their control. But what you do control is the ability to go up there to New England and end on a positive note.
Well, that will be the season finale for the Jets coming up next Sunday. But at least for now, they're on a 2-game winning streak as we go back to you in the studio.
Coming up, we'll have more with Jet quarterback Sam Darnold right here on Inside the Jets, presented by EY, building a better working world. And welcome back to Inside the Jets, presented by EY, building a better working world. Dan Graca, along with Bart Scott, we're joined by the Jet quarterback Sam Darnold. Now, you had a pretty entertaining play yesterday, and normally we're used to seeing you throw the football, but yesterday you tucked it under, you took off, and you ran over a former Super Bowl MVP and Malcolm Smith. Tell me how that play kind of set up. Did you know that eventually there was going to be some impact there and you better go full force?
So, yeah, no, I didn't mean to, it might have looked cool and, I think it sparked some energy on the bench and, throughout our team, but like I wasn't trying to do what I did. Like I was running straight at him and he was kind of standing there ready for me. And I took off to the left, tried to, break eye contact and give him some false acceleration to the left. And I broke it off expecting him to be running to his right, trying to stop me. And, he just stayed right there. And, I had too much momentum to where I couldn't really slide. So, just ran into him and, carried forward for the first down. But, I got up and Crowder was loving it. Some of the linemen were pumped about it. I was stoked I got the first down, but, I told Malcolm, I told him as I got up, I was like, hey, next time, just so you know, I'm sliding. Like,
In a challenging year like this, where, on the field and everything that we're dealing with the pandemic still, and it's been trying, it's been challenging, it's been difficult, but do you think that there could be good that comes from it? Can you learn something positive from this year and take it with you moving forward through your career?
Yeah. I mean, you always have, with experience, you learn so much from experiences and from just playing football. And, this year I've learned a lot about myself and, my ability to handle loss and, handle different things that have happened this year. And you always learn something about yourself and about your teammates and just about the way, you handle adversity. And I think that's kind of the biggest thing that I've taken away from this year is, I don't plan on having worse years than I had this year. Just in terms of, not just statistically, but just winning and losing. Like we just didn't win enough this year and we didn't get it done as much as I would have liked. And I learned a lot from it. And, like I said, I'm going to watch tape in the off season and learn and grow.
Do you kind of look back and say, man, like I know that we're going in the right direction. It may not, show everybody else may not see it, but I see it happen. I see the small changes and I see the culture being set. Yeah,
for sure. I have faith in this organization and what we're doing and the future, and I always will, no matter what the circumstances are. And, I'm always going to believe that, things are going to get better, especially from what we've been through this year. Again, we've proved it. I mean, the last couple of weeks we've played really good football, complimentary football. And, we've won and we beat two really good teams, playoff teams. And, we're capable of it. We just got to be more consistent throughout the year and obviously throughout the beginning of the year too. So, and I really do put that a lot on myself too. I feel like I didn't play good enough at the beginning of the year to win football games. And like we just talked about, Dan, I really do think I learned from that. And, I've been able to, protect the ball a little bit more and just give our team a chance to win games. And that's what I've done the last couple of weeks. And, I really do have faith in this organization and what we're able to do in the future.
Well, I know you got to run, Sam, but last thing here, what was the best gift that Santa left under the tree for you this year?
It's a great question. I mean, I got a lot of, different clothes. I think, Santa left me, for my house down in, Southern California, left me a couple, lounge chairs that I needed for right by the pool.
Nice.
And I think that was kind of my big gift this year. I didn't really ask for much, so that was kind of my big gift. I got a bunch of like I said, like clothes, and I got some new UGG slippers, which, I haven't had for a long time. My other ones were trash from college. So I got some of those. And yeah, I mean, honestly, it was just great to be able to have family, especially during this year of COVID and everything. It was awesome to be able to have them come out and, just spend the holidays with them.
Awesome. Well, Sam, we always appreciate a couple of minutes joining us here on the show. Best of luck against the New England Patriots and heading into the offseason, but we always appreciate your time, Sam, and Happy New Year to you and yours.
Yep. Happy New Year. Appreciate you guys.
That's all the time we have for this week. We'll see you again next week for the season finale of Inside the Jets. For Bart Scott, I'm Dan Graca. This is Inside the Jets, presented by EY, building a better working world. Happy New Year, everyone.